So, given recent criticism I've received at the end of EX1 for saying this comment, I will now proceed to say it not only at the start of this Let's Play, but also say it louder. Trans rights are human rights. And I guess with that, we're able to begin this game. Alright, what's up, boys? Bob here. Welcome to a new Naruto Let's Play, this time for Naruto GNT EX3. We're now in the third installment in the marathon of the EX series, and man, if you thought things were already kind of off to a fun start, things are about to get a lot more wild. So, where EX2 was kind of a black box for the competitive community, EX3 is definitely not quite that. So, EX3 has been pretty well documented, to say the least. Now, this is actually one of the big games for the competitive community, not just in comparison to EX1 and 2, but it's also one of the biggest competitive scenes for the Naruto series, alongside like Special, Revolution 3, not as big as GNT4 obviously, but I would say it's definitely one of the more prominent scenes. You would not immediately be led to believe that, but no, it is actually pretty up there. So, released in November 2008, yes, there was now an actual full calendar year before this game came out. Because the first game I think was February 2007, February 2007. Second game was November 2007, yes, that fast. And now this game has come out a full calendar year after the fact. They kind of needed it considering how EX2 came out. Yeah, it was a little bit rough. This story is basically going over the events of the, quote, Akatsuki Suppression Arc. Yeah, I'm still not sure why they went with that name. That could literally be just the summary of the entirety of Naruto Shippuden as a whole, but okay, cool, alright. The game itself is actually pretty cool. The gameplay itself is still basically 1-to-1 like you would see in Revolution 3, but with a lot of changes to minute details. I've had this game described to me as basically being so unbalanced, it wraps around back to being balanced again. Like, characters are so overtuned that there is so much to actually divulge and a lot of just wild stuff across the board. That being said, the story mode is, well, not at all what you expect from what we've seen so far. Now you might expect these games to be like, you know, basic 2D fighters with like anime stills tossed in to cover the story, narrated, text, stuff like that. Nah. We're kind of tossing out the window for this one. In fact, we'll be tossing out the window again for the next game. It's kind of weird what we're about to go through. Yeah, I guess I can't complain too much. It's just really bizarre. But I guess we shouldn't get dawdle too much longer. Let's just go ahead and fire this bad boy up. And boy, let me say, yes, we are going to be going through yet another very creative intro. I should have just started on the actual Wii screen. I'm an idiot. Hang on a minute. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take us through the intro. I'm going to shut up for a minute, just a minute, and get through this. I think we're definitely starting to reach a crescendo with how these intros are going to be going, huh? Also, damn, that's a pretty good intro cover. Like, just the boys, Hidan, Kakuzu, good stuff across the board. Also, you might start to remember some more music in here. Chat notified me, I'm pretty sure this is actually the menu music for Revolution 2, if I'm not mistaken. I will say, I actually want to say this is almost like, okay, bear with me. It's been a decade since I last touched the game, but I'm pretty sure this, yeah, that was Rep 2. Isn't this the same Sakura model used in Revolution 3 in the American release? Because I'm pretty sure it is. I remember we talked about this in the practice stream. By the way, be sure to follow me on twitch.tv/RyanJericho for recordings and the practice runs of these games, please and thank you. Anyway, plug this aside. So, things are also actually downsizing a little bit. Now we have a single player mode. I think this is versus training, gallery, I want to say, and options. Now, just for the record, we're going to be playing this on, let's see, I think it's default. Yeah, so difficulty 4. I think this might be round selection, and I don't know what the rest of these are. So actually, I'm gonna bring attention to one thing really fast. Once again, huge shout outs to the GNT community for being especially cool. One shout out to the GNT EX Discord server. Again, really cool guys. They've been nothing but cordial and really helpful for the making of this entire Let's Play series. And also to the main GNT server as a whole. Those guys are really chill, really awesome. I love them so much. So Brutal Moon. Unfortunately, he's unable to join us this evening for this game, giving all of the great commentary he possibly can. So I'm just going to briefly mention that he did actually create a rough translation patch for the menu, just for the menus, just so like you can easily weave your way through the selection process in order to like just navigate. Now, I didn't have the time to install that or test it, partly because there's another translation patch that will actually be used for special. But the issue with that is it crashes some of the menus when you're going through story mode. You guys know what I'm talking about. YouTube probably doesn't. That'll be very funny when we get to it. But yeah, with that being said, let's just go ahead and begin going over the general changes from the last game. Oops. I think it's this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's usually the pink lantern that is training mode proper. Also, yes. Now, if you're watching the practice streams, I didn't have all the characters unlocked. We literally just got through story mode and kind of call it a day. Yeah, I downloaded a save file that has everything completed. However, I can definitely say good thing is that we still have it's not animated, I wish it was. Well, I wish his face moved. We still have the really nice intro animations where you select the character. The wife's here, awesome. Also, some various newcomers. First of all, we got Yugo. I think Yugo might have debuted in Revolution 2. No, wait, no. I don't know if Yugo debuts here or Revolution 2. She's in one of those two games. A couple other characters that are just kind of floating around right now. We got Baki in here. Hell yeah, furry funky character. A lot of these characters are not in EX2, so you'll finally get to play as them in this game. Also, yes, the pre-time skip boys are still here. It's funny, but hey, it's whatever. New extra stuff. Yeah, I can deal with it. Also, Bang Center, actually dead center. If you look at this menu, 3 down, 3 up, 2 left, 2 right. Yeah, Sasuke is dead center. That is the most hilarious thing ever. And I guess I gotta show him a little bit because go figure. I know how to use him a little bit, so may as well be the example. Also, yeah, there's a lot of stages we're getting out. Did you know there's a second half to this stage? Crazy stuff. You would not know otherwise. And let's fire up. So also one thing before we go too far ahead also, yeah, there's still no proper 16:9 widescreen support. I'm pretty sure we talked about this prior, but the series would not get proper widescreen support until EX Special. You know, it's still 2008 on the Wii. The Wii is unfortunately... Now, if you're a younger viewer, first of all, I'm sorry if you're watching my stuff. But also, no, 16:9 was not a widely adopted feature on consoles for a good while. Xbox 360 and PS3 are the exception because, you know, high definition.
Take off your gear.
Oh, Ness! Thank you for the follow. You missed my intro. Rep Theater 6:9. Oh, cool. I'm actually very glad about that. Also, yeah, you can actually change the costume you straight up start with, so that's pretty cool. Now, couple of things to go over with this game. First of all, again, it's basically Revolution 3 on steroids with the balancing. It's so cool. And so wild, but it's so dumb. Now, a couple of basic things before we go too far ahead. I keep saying that. God damn it. I'm really repeating myself right now. First of all, you might recognize this little power-up. Yeah, we got the LMPs here, baby. Late ninja powers. Oh man, it's been a while since I actually got to talk about these. And we didn't talk about it proper in Revolution 3 because I was still young back then. So, Late Ninja Power is basically a power-up your character gets when they reach below a certain threshold of life points. I think like 30, 40%, something like that. I know Hell could probably correct me in the chat, but basically when you get it, your character gets like additional buffs to their moveset. I say buffs, basically like just alterations. Yeah, you did. Now, what was I going with this? Every character is actually a lot more unique than you initially be led to believe. Now, so much so, I got a thing here. This is courtesy of Brutal Moon. We're gonna come over here to monitor really fast. So there's a lot of things to go over. This is courtesy of Brutal Moon. Every single change is cataloged thanks to him and the community as a whole. Oh man, there's a change to be sure. I'll spare you the details, but basically a lot of moves are reduced in chakra consumption for their usage, so on and so forth. Kurana's got a good amount, Neji's got a good amount. Just a lot of different things in general. Tsunade, she heals. Yeah, just a lot of straight up things in general. I will say though, one thing that is pretty cool is that I didn't know about this. Sasuke gets a brand new move. His back A, which is usually counter, becomes the actual move that he uses if the counter lands. And I gotta say, that's kind of neat. That is just a little bit cool. Oh yeah, I want to say how those. All right. That's a pretty dope combo. But yeah, no, the counter just straight becomes this. Other various changes like Kisame's clones cost less chakra, Naruto's clones cost less chakra. I just saw that Yamato's would Jutsus like do more guard damage and possibly do more damage in general. Just so on and so forth. A lot of things. Thing LMP called. Okay. So those are general surface changes. Now, of course, there's a lot more things that are going on under the hood. Senzai Ninriki. Thank you. I know there was a proper Japanese name for that. I could not remember whatsoever. So I'm just gonna stick to the original name. By the way, my wife Yugo's in here. It's been a while. Been a very long while. Are those floor runes? They're an obstacle for that level specifically. It's pretty neat. You didn't quite get to see it. You didn't quite get to see it in EX2 because the last level did have it, but unfortunately we did not quite get to see it. Alex, don't give me too much grief. No, she's really fun and I miss using her. It's unfortunate it took her this long to get in. Anyway, so what are characters about to show up? Oh yeah, this guy. Oh my god. I've talked about, okay, I'm gonna mention this again before we go too far ahead. There's some characters I absolutely adore in the EX series over the Storm series. Tsunade and Hiran are definitely among them. Tsunade because she's able to just knock people around 6 ways to Sunday. Also a lot of other characters too, like I have notes here. Tsunade can fling people literally across the screen. Kisame has like methodical pressure, is a pressure machine and has clones. Hiran slices people up. And just like Datara is not a one-dimensional zoner, it's just awesome. So, Hiran, what does he bring to the table, huh? Well, about that. Let me see if I can mash this out. I'm just gonna go ahead and through the super really fast. Let me see if I can get this. Hopefully the camera doesn't switch on me. Okay. We've talked about this a lot. I think we might have even talked about this in the EX2 if I'm not mistaken, but some characters were actually made with the altered gravity system / wake up system with the GNT system. EX, sorry, I'm speaking a lot right now. So, because of the way tech recovery works in this game, there's a lot of things you can do against people on the ground. Watch this. Well, that's not what I want to show. But just even this. That's real. That's actually real. It's awesome. Let me see what others. This is way more consistent. Tossing out that afterwards, it's great. Oh my god, that was so cool. Yeah, Hiran is absolutely just completely designed for the OTG system in this game. It's so cool. Anyway, sorry, I've been looking at chat in a minute. If you do 2B before, it's guaranteed and more damage. He has entire B string OTG. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm not even doing it correctly, but if you delay your B strings, get the timing down enough, if your opponent is down, you can like actually tag them on the ground before they wake up. Yeah, like even just that, I completely botched the timing, but I still managed to get that. Thank you. I worked literally all day on this combo. God, it was so cool. All right, so I just want to highlight some things really fast before we take off. But now I guess it's time to tackle story mode. And me not being a native Japanese speaker, I need to use Google Translate app really fast before I know what we're getting into. One quick moment, guys. Again, shout out to Brill Moon for actually translating this before. I'm just unfortunately did not have the time to test it and install it. Scenario start. Well, I suppose we can start with, we can try that one. As long as we start from the beginning, I think we're okay. Now loading in English. Okay, well, that's funny. And everything is, oh yeah. I would also like to mention that we are reaching a point. So everything is 3D, but models could be quite a bit better. I will definitely say that. Cool stuff though. So the story mode for this game isn't Dragon Blade Chronicles. Yeah, even Dragon Blade Chronicles was more expressive than this. I will definitely say that. All right. Well, I guess Yamato is breathing a little bit, so that's cool. I can't it's not like I can expect huge high quality stuff from a literal Wii game. That's like the same process as like the GameCube, basically. Anyway, I don't know what my chat's doing. So I'm gonna say that I'm gonna just talk about this really fast. So the story mode, like I mentioned before, is not just your standard run-of-the-mill, like just fighting dudes one-on-one kind of spiel. No. We've kind of gone to a beat-em-up style, not really unlike Dragon Blade Chronicles. If you remember Dragon Blade Chronicles, you might be getting a little concerned, much like I was in general. But no, the good thing about this is that we're actually, hey, look, I actually like how these guys are still a team. I just noticed that, cool. You may have seen gameplay for this game before because it's fairly unique. Oh my god, Ino. Oh no. Oh, how I not noticed that? Yeah. You think the Japanese developers noticed this and didn't think about anything like this? Yeah, Ino is still not here. We just have this unexplained gap in the crowd. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yes, Ino, Nigel's top girl, is unfortunately still not here. It's really funny we've gone to this point where Ino is literally like a centerpiece of this entire arc, but she's still not here. I just don't get it. It's so weird. Ino got the sniffles. You know what? Yeah, I'll take that as a viable excuse. Hell yeah. Okay. So basically the story mode is not actually going over the story mode proper whatsoever. Because if it were, we would basically be just jumping right into Asuma being deep sixed by Hidan. No, what is happening here is that we're actually going to be going over a slightly unique story mode. And when I say slightly unique, I mean literally filler country until we get to the very end. Yeah, it's kind of dumb. I guess I can't say I'm too shocked. It's just weird. Is anyone else confused yet? I am. Anyways, alright, I make sure my camera was working. I had to get my controller working. So, if you're anything like me, you're looking at this and you're already having a slight anxiety attack. Yeah. So the good news here, GNT Warriors. God, don't make me wish for that. And yeah, okay, yeah, we were noticing that before too. It literally does look like large intestines. It's really odd. So you might be looking at this and getting an anxiety attack, considering that, you know, we're on a 15-minute time limit, supposedly, and we got all of this shit to cover. Now, good news. You don't have to explore even a fraction of this. So basically, this mode is basically a straight up beat 'em up mode. There's no exploration to pick up. Yeah, basically Dragon Blade Chronicles beta, isn't it? There's no exploration to pick up free items to unlock stuff. There's no exploration to really be had. It's basically beat up enemies and get a high score and get to the end. That's kind of the modus operandi of this entire mode. Now, I can promise you guys straight up, and I will say this as well, you don't have to worry. You can literally skip everything. And nothing really restricts you at all, except for like story events. And I'm also gonna say that there's no real point to beating these enemies up unless you want to actually go for the characters unlocks, which I suppose is kind of the idea. But all right, let me explain. So we're kind of back to the whole shop system from EX. I was about to say EX3 from Revolution 3. where you buy characters outright in the shop, which is cool, don't get me wrong, but there's no point to really beating up enemies at all. In fact, here, let me just show you this. If you're careful and you just avoid the anti-air kunai, you can literally just run right to the end. Not kidding, you can just kind of do that. I'll be honest here, this actually gives me flashbacks of like Hyperdimension Neptunia 1. If any of you have played that, Thunder Tits. It's basically the same thing with like almost procedurally generated arenas with like no distinguishing factors whatsoever. Yeah, really weird stuff. All right, but before we actually cap out of this, to quote the youth, I guess, no cap. Your moveset is basically like it is in regular story, but everything is kind of altered a little bit. Like, for example, Naruto's Beast Ring. Also, no drop shadows on anyone. I guess, you know, yeah, I'm not too shocked. There's a few things missing. If you press B, or sorry, A, you'll do a kunai. If you hold a direction and press a kunai, sometimes you'll do different moves. So that's something. You can charge a kunai up. It's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, you got running moves. Kind of neat. Your super generally does like a AoE move, which kind of alright. I'm not gonna say no to that, but yeah, again, there's not really much to be gained from beating up the mooks in the arenas, and also there's just like, I have problems with this because healing yourself is actually kind of arduous if you're not getting lucky with the pickups. So, you know, pick and choose what you want to do. Mostly for me, I'm going to be gunning right from the end of these arenas, so yeah.